Exactly 10 years ago, I landed a job with a newspaper that I grew up reading. But I lost my father to a sudden illness. In that black hole phase, I didn't have a choice to back into myself and mourn. If I didn't muscle my grief into something productive soon enough, I could have lost my job. So when the opportunity came along to focus my energy on an environment fellowship, I jumped on it. The field work took me to Goa, where I ended up exposing illegal mining in the state. It wasn't an easy story to unravel or to do, taking it from the ground there to the ministerial levels in Delhi. One key step in that journey involved visiting unfriendly mining belts in both North and South Goa. I lived in a tribal activist's house for 2 days, for which, for a city girl like me, was another journey altogether. His family laughed at me when I expressed fear of being surrounded by wild animals. I also got my period at that time. There was no proper place to change or bathe, and jumping up and down the dumping trucks was as painful as it could get. But I knew I didn't have a choice. If I missed this chance, there was no coming back. Just the journey from the capital of Goa to the tribal's house in South Goa took more than a day negotiating the rickety public transport. I also had to lie to my mother about what I was up to. I think I told her the truth on the day of the award function, and now she's always suspicious of me when I'm quiet for too long. My spiritual journey has always been parallel with my professional life. The most important thing I've learned is that no one can change or control anyone, except oneself. I believe that the world is a constant and I'm a variable. So Priyanka wanted me to talk about what it means to be a change maker, a woman, and a career-life balance. So a change maker for me is someone who focuses on their evolution and growth while working hard at whatever they do. Personally, I resist that term. It puts too much pressure. The result, impact, change of whatever you do, howsoever small or seemingly insignificant, will happen on its own. And even if it doesn't, you can't be attached to the outcome or let it affect you. I've also observed that in my journalism teacher and well-known Indian journalist P. Sainath, with whom some of us have started the People's Archive of Rural India in 2014, which is a digital repository on the everyday lives of everyday people. On a career-life balance. For the longest time, I didn't have a life, so to speak, in the initial phase of my career. I was working late on weekends and going back on Mondays to another whirlwind week. There are choices and sacrifices, and one has to make them. I don't have major responsibilities that people who are married with families do, so I respect those who can balance work, home, and family. As a woman, and I speak as a journalist, while of late there has been a lot of focus on giving women center stage from different walks of life, I for one salute the first generation of women journalists in India who paved the way for many of us to even enter the profession. One of them is Rami Chhabra, one of the few Indian journalists in the 1950s who broke into a male bastion with obviously no social media to support her. She was one of the first ones to cover the Vietnam War. So when we speak of the current situation, I think it's important to understand the context and thank those who made it easier for someone like me to come and speak.